Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another story time. I'm Chris Kirby, the principal of Porter Elementary here in Macon, Georgia, and I am delighted to have you here with me today. And our book today, da-da-da-da, if it shows up on the green screen, The Very Last Castle by Travis Jonker, with illustrations by Mark Pitt. Let's find out about The Very Last Castle. In the middle of a small town stood something you might not expect. A castle. It was, in fact, the very last castle. There had been others, but over time they had all been taken down, or fallen apart, or been destroyed. All but one. For reasons no one could remember, no one ever came out, and no one was allowed in. Up in the tower, the guard watched the townspeople silently pass by. Then there was Ib. Every day she walked past the castle, all alone. Every day she stopped. She looked up. She saw the lone guard standing stone still. Plunk. Since no one had been inside the castle, the townspeople had ideas about who or what was in there. Snap, snap, snap. Monsters, said Miss Wicks. Thud, thud, thud. Giants, said Alex. Oh, snakes, said Ib's grandfather. Maybe it's something terrible, Ib thought one day. Maybe it's something else. Plunk. The next morning, Ib walked past the castle. She stopped and looked up at the tower. No guard. Ib had an idea. She floated across the moat, walked up to the door, and, with all the strength she had, knock, knock, knocked. Ib didn't stop running until she was sitting in her desk at school, scared and out of breath. Maybe Grandpa was right. She didn't tell anyone what had happened. Not long after, an envelope arrived. Inside was an invitation. Your presence is requested at the front gate of the castle on Sunday at noon. Everyone told Ib to stay away. Monsters, said Miss Wicks. Giants, said Alex. Snakes, said her grandfather. Maybe it's something terrible, Ib thought. Could it be something else? On Sunday, Ib stood all alone outside the front gate. With a loud pong, the drawbridge began to lower. She trembled. She looked up at the tower. Empty. She took a deep breath. Slowly, Ib did something none of the townspeople had ever done. She walked inside. It turned out Miss Wicks and Alex had been right. There were monsters. And there were giants, but no snakes. Welcome, came a voice, a kind voice. It was the guard. He removed his helmet. He was much older than Ib had expected. I'm the last one left. May I show you around? For the rest of the day, Ib and the guard, his name was William, visited every corner of the castle. Before long, they were pruning near the great hall, snap, 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 and harvesting by the palace, thud, 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 thud. They ended up where they had started. Why now? Asked Ib. All the other castles are gone, answered William. Someday I will be too. I want someone brave to take my place, someone curious. Will you help me? Ib thought about William all on his own. She thought about her family and friends outside the castle. She thought, and then she knew. Yes, Ib replied, but I have a request. In the middle of a small town stood the very last castle. Sometimes someone came out, and everyone was welcomed in. The end. The very last castle.